YouTube, it's Beverly. I'm back. And I'm back to talk to you about my book, Gezebel. And today we are moving right along into chapter 8. And I am so excited because it brings me so much joy to be able to just sit here and talk about something that I put so much into, so much love into, and to be able to share it with you guys. It's just a blessing. Okay, so let's go on to chapter 8 of Gezebel, the novel by Beverly. Okay, chapter 8. Lerwick paid Ernest a weekly sum of £2,000. Not bad, huh? In addition to all travel-related expenses. Ernest traveled to Dubai, France, Germany, Portugal to conduct business with the banks on behalf of the Network Foundation. He initiated computerized bank transfers between offshore countries and created a web of bank transactions that would take decades to unravel. The Network Foundation business was money laundering, and Ernest was a key player in its success. Yes, the drunkard has officially moved on to being a money launderer. Corinne was concerned about Ernest's activities and the huge sums of cash he brought home. She had a premonition that his involvement with the foundation would eventually lead to disaster. Corinne played detective and visited TNF's headquarters in Liverpool. A buxom, red-haired secretary, busy sorting mail, greeted her. The secretary insisted on handing Corinne brochures about joining the Network Foundation family of investors and shoved an application in her face. Corinne attempted to cozy up to the secretary in hopes that she could divulge gossip about the internal affairs of the company, but the telephone kept ringing and the secretary asked her to leave the completed application on the desk. A frustrated Corinne completed the application with false information and placed it on the desk. But before Corinne could get another word in, the secretary advised her an officer of the company would call within 24 hours. Corinne left the office in a hurry and counted her blessings that Ernest didn't find her there. She would have to talk to him about his involvement with this institution because it stunk like a dead rat. Ernest arrived home in the evening after playing cricket with his buddies at a local park, and Corinne fired off a barrage of questions at him before he could take his shoes off. Ernest, we need to talk. I want to know where all this money is coming from, Corinne stated in a concerned voice. She leapt up from the couch where she sat watching TV, and when she heard the key turn in the door. Damn, Corinne, I just walked in, Ernest replied in an exasperated voice. He leaned over to untie his athletic shoes. Every week you're off, flying off to different countries, and you've become so secretive. I have a right to know what my husband is involved in, Corinne retorted with defiance, and placed her hands on her hips. Do you want for anything, Corinne? Ernest asked between clenched teeth. No, I don't. At least not now, but what does that have to do? Corinne stammered. She was unable to finish the sentence. Are the bills paid on time, Corinne? Ernest growled. Yes, but that's still, Corinne faltered and started to lose ground. Ernest refused to let her continue. Does our child have everything she could ever want? Ernest asked menacingly and gritted his teeth. Yes, she does, Ernest, and I'm trying to warn you, Corinne blurted out and lost her focus when Ernest cut her off. We are now able to save for a home. Isn't that right? Ernest asked with impatience. Yes, Corinne admitted in a crushed voice. Well then, by the grace of God Almighty, leave it alone, Ernest yelled and stormed into the bedroom, slamming the door. Corinne leaned against the wall and closed her eyes. She was getting nowhere with Ernest and would have to find out about the Network Foundation on her own. It was the only way. Well, Ernest Dennis was busy flying to exciting destinations, and Corinne was left in charge of the household. He handed Corinne £1,500 a week and kept 500 for himself. Corinne deposited half of the 1,500 into their joint account and the other half into her personal account. She cleared their debts and hoarded the money as the months sailed by. They were able to save more money in 9 months than they were able to save in a year when they both worked at the reform school. Corinne never had anything in abundance since her family was poor, and now that she had money at her disposal, she was not about to spend foolishly. She wanted to save as much as possible just in case the money stopped rolling in. Corinne deposited her bi-weekly pay into her personal account and never spent a dime of it. She accumulated more than £10,000 in her nest egg and chose to keep it a secret from Ernest. Well, if any of you have been married, here we have a young married couple. The money's starting to roll in, but girlfriend Corinne realizes my husband, he's knee-deep in shit. Yeah, he's gotten his hands on some ill-gotten gain. And girlfriend's determined to sock away as much of that money as she possibly could, just in case. I'll see you in the next chapter. Get Gezebel soon. Bye-bye.